Scorca from Mexicali Fish Keeper. So I'm back in the garage. It's probably about a couple hours since I got back from the museum, and I started to work on the stand. I've already got most of the lumber cut out. Now I'm going to start putting it together. Honestly, I didn't film that because there's so many instructional videos out there on how to do it, and I'm just basically copying a lot of those videos out there. But I'll turn it around and show you just real quick what it is that I'm going to do. Alright, so as you can see, I've kind of laid out what the frame's going to look like. This is going to be the bottom part. There's going to be two square frames, one for the bottom, one for the top. And of course, to maximize the strength of the studs, they're going to be the weight bearings. So they're going to go on the inside here, and I'm going to, all the weight of that aquarium is going to be sitting on top of this structure here. So that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing. And you know, it's the very basic stand. There's not much to it. It's going to be about 30 inches tall, plus whatever the height of the aquarium is, which is right there, is going to make it sure it's going to, you know, make it possible so that the kids, oops, I'm tripping over the driftwood, so that the kids do not reach it and get their hands in it. So, you know, no rocket science, just basic two square frames and some legs. So I'll show you once I get a little bit more progression. All right, so I already have, I'm working on the last for the top frame. Bottom frame's done over there. Next thing that's going to happen is that I'm going to attach the legs, and then I got to do the vertical supports that are actually going to hold the structural weight. And once I do that, it's almost done. I just need to wrap it, and I've got a top that is going to be made for me. I don't know if you guys remember that video that I did where I went out to the guy with the sawmill, Charles. He said he'd be more than happy to do for me one of those tops with the live edge on it, kind of like what I showed in that video. So hopefully that's going to go on this, and then just, you know, sand it, paint it, and start getting ready to work on that aquarium, because it's got a lot of cleaning to do. I want to leave it as good as possible and paint the back on it. And once I get that done, we're more than halfway there. Then it's just to wait on the people that have offered to help me out with building this project. I have quite a few people that reached out and said they wanted to be part of this. Keys from KGE Aquatics. He's going to be providing all the food for that aquarium, or, you know, he's sending me some food. I'm not going to say all the food. Oops, sorry about the camera angle. He's going to be providing me with food that he's already mailed out for that community tank. So that's one thing I don't have to worry about having to get. Steve, Warrior Planet Tanks, he's going to get all the livestock for that aquarium. He offered up to do that. And I think he's going to send some plants, some extra valve that I needed just to make sure that I have enough plants for that aquarium. And then Joe Paris from the Chlorophyll Corner, the store up in Tempe that I toured a few months back. He's offered to help me scape it, and basically any things that I might have overlooked, he's willing to cover that stuff too. Also, I think I put him in communication with the curator of the museum, and there might be working on putting up some type of exhibit that is either insects or some type of herp, you know, whether it's a spider, a tarantula, or something like that, something for the kids to look at and possibly handle. I don't know. I'm not too familiar with that hobby, so that's why I referred him to Joe, because I know he has a lot of experience with herbs, reptiles, and fish, and plants, and I don't know, a bunch of other stuff. And who am I missing? That was them. And also Fathom Aquatics. I know he told me not to say anything, but he gifted me a $100 gift card from Aquarium Co-op. So that's going to help, you know, probably be able to get a sponge filter from there, or I don't know. I still have, though I'm leaving that towards the end for, there's always those extras that come up short. And, you know, I just want to say thanks. I know I might need some ferts, so maybe I'll go with some easy green for that aquarium. Just makes it simple. I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, once I start putting it together, there's always those last things that you didn't think about. And, you know, that's probably where that gift card will really come in handy. So let me continue to work on that stand. I'll show you once it's all put together, the basic skeletons of it. And then I'll show you what I'm going to do as far as wrapping it to try to finish it up and make it look a little bit more, you know, have a better appearance, because it is going to be in a museum. You know, not that it's going to be a museum piece by any means, but just better than these racks out here. So let me get back to that, and I'll show the progress as I continue. Well, hello everybody. I think it's been like a few days since the last recording that I did about building the stand. I know I've been in a couple of live streams where I've been able to show off a little bit of what I've been doing, but I really haven't taken the time to record a lot of this. I didn't record the basic building of the stand because it's no different than those stands that are out there. There's like a dime a dozen videos that show you how to build a stand. And that's not what I was trying to do, is necessarily show you how to build a stand. I just think it's more of kind of showing you, vlogging the process, I guess, for lack of a better term. But anyways, let me show you the progress. I haven't finished it because I wanted you guys to kind of see what it's like. As a matter of fact, I'll start over here on this side where it's unfinished, and then you guys can get an idea. Let me turn the camera. Alright, so as you guys can see, it's just your regular generic stand, but obviously I didn't want it to look like this, so I had to come up with a way to make it a little bit more aesthetic. I went with some cedar planks. These are basically your fence post kind of material. I like it because it looks kind of rustic, and I think it'll go with the theme of the museum and our city, really, because you know, we're kind of a little bit rugged, a little bit country out here. And so that's what it is. I still need to sand it down. But when I was building this, I needed to come up with a way. This is the other side over here. This side, okay, what I needed to do was figure out a way that I can still have access to the center, to the storage area that's inside. All this space in here, I need to be able to have access to that without having to be sliding the stand around, because once I set it, it's going to be so heavy, it's going to be difficult to move. But I didn't want it to have like an obvious way into it. So after getting different ideas and stuff like that, I was able to come up with I guess sort of a creative solution. And the idea is that when you first look at it, it just looks like it's all one solid piece in the front, but in reality this is actually a door. So if I pull on it, you'll see where it reveals its axis, and it's a real simple device. I just took some boards and attached this to it and cut it to the size that it fits snugly in there. And then I'm going to go buy some rare earth magnets, which I'm finding out they have a pretty good magnetic force, and I'm going to inlay them in here and put probably 4, one on each corner, one up, 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom. And that should really secure this. Even as it is now, it slides in there, but I definitely don't want, if somebody gets curious and pulls on it, I don't want it to come undone at all. And if I feel with those magnets, it's going to have enough resistance that they're going to think it's all a solid piece. But just kind of wanted to give you guys an update on this. I still need to sand it. Kind of like what these are right here. These were some boards that I already had worked on. This is more of the rough edge, but once you sand them down, they tend to look like this. This still needs to be sanded. All of these, except for those 2 that were scraps that I had left over from a previous project. But that's what it is. I just really wanted to share with you guys how this is coming along. I'm hoping that on Tuesday we start. We can take this up to the museum, have it set up, and finalized. Oh yeah, on the top, let me let me turn the camera around real quick one more time. For the top, I have a friend of mine who, if you see one of my videos that I went to go, that's where I dropped off the goldfish, the guy that has the pond. Well, he has a sawmill, and he's gonna do a top for me, which has a live edge. And if you saw in that video, you would have seen some of the pieces. But I have a board here that I want to show you. So let me go inside, and so you guys get a better idea. Okay, so this is kind of what I'm talking about when I say live edge. It's going to be a piece of wood similar to this, where it still has some of the bark, and it's not necessarily totally even. So that's kind of the look that I'm going for the top of that aquarium. Obviously, it's going to be much wider than this to be able to fit that top, but that's kind of the feel that I wanted to have, and it should tie in real nice with the stand in there. But you know, that's kind of what's planned for that, and you know, hopefully I'll be able to pull that off, and the next time you see it, it'll be when it's already all sanded down. Going out to the garage again. When it's all sanded down and has the top on there and all of that stuff. So, you know, I just kind of wanted to show you guys how the progression is coming along, and so that you guys have an idea of what's happening. So, see you guys soon. All right. By the looks of the mesh, you guys can see that I've already sanded this down. I'm not trying to get it like super smooth. I do want it to have some of the textures that are in that rough cut wood, but I wanted it so that if somebody touches it, they didn't get a splinter on themselves. But now it's just, I don't know if I'm gonna stain it or here, let me show you what it looks like when it's all done. Let me pause. Alright, so that's all sanded down, and I don't know, I have to go look back at the place to see if I want to stain this a little bit darker or just seal it. And I also have to see the piece that's going to go on top. But that's pretty much the entire stand. And the only thing that I'm starting to realize is that right now I have access to it because I can get to the top and pull on it and open it like this. But once that top is on there, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I gotta figure out a way to do like a hideaway handle on here. Anyways, these are some of the magnets that I was gonna use. These guys are like super strong, and I don't want it to be to the point. You see how I was thinking of inlaying them, drill 1, 2 in there, and 2 at the bottom, so just to make sure that this doesn't fall forward, because eventually it's going to wear. It's going to have a little bit of wear on it. It's going to give, and I don't want it to do that. So those are just the final touches that I need to do on this. Right now it's a mess in here. I got equipment laying everywhere, but I wanted to show you the progression. So this is kind of what it looked like when it was before I used it. You see how kind of rough the surface is compared to where it's a little bit smoother. Like I said, I don't want it to be completely smooth, but just so it looks a little bit more finished. All right, let me know what you guys think.